Hi, my name is John Schreiger. I've been selected to do a PACE analysis of Dick's Sporting Goods. My teammates are Justin Tulling, CJ Tassel. Going into a little bit of the PACE analysis, we're going to start with the professionalism aspect. And if we're going to talk about professionalism in terms of Dick's Sporting Goods, we have to mention their combination of brands and how effective that's been for them. So Dick's Sporting Goods, their stores are laid out very intuitively. There's a Nike section, Under Armour, Reebok. Everything's organized very intuitively. It works very well for itself, and it's laid out very professionally. And if you do need any help, the employees are very professional about guiding you from place to place. They also do a very good job of staying true to their mission. So the Dick's Sporting Goods slogan is "Every season starts with Dick's." So they make sure that they do a really good job laying the foundation of equipment needed for every sport that you need to start. So this not only sets up for their younger audience of consumers very well, and it helps build loyalty through the years through helping them establish their own individual programs. And in addition to that, we'd also like to talk about their academic involvement. So CJ is going to elaborate a little bit on that for you.
Dick's, in an essential look at their academics, do not take it from a traditional standpoint. They focus more on the academics that you can say are based off of the sports they cater to, so things like baseball, football, basketball, and the likes. What they often do is they partner with major league organizations to bring in more people, bring in more customer base to continue that education. They do camps, clinics. These are not always free, but sometimes they are. They also donate equipment to 1 million and more young athletes to kind of spread their, I'll say, academic influence as they can. We're going to kind of move forward from that and kind of say how that also attributes to their character, their donations, their kind of affluence in that area. It builds their strong customer relations that they have because of their focus on their quality. They focus on quality, they focus on customer relations, and they build that to have a consistent customer relationship, to have a consistent character. One of the aspects of consistency is, as we've seen different issues surface and different issues change, they've maintained kind of a silence on that and don't really focus on some of those issues. They don't use their size and their money to focus on political issues. They use it to focus on their quality and their customers, and that really builds their character. One other aspect of their character is their diversity. There haven't been many issues of Dick's Sporting Goods and diversity, or Dick's Sporting Goods and other, I'll say, gender issues or race issues in the business. I think that speaks to how well they're shifting with the times and kind of adapting and growing as they should to adjust and make room for these growing minorities, which I think is a really good thing they're doing on their part in building their own diversity and building their character. I'm going to move on and I'll let Justin take over with the engagement aspect and with kind of wrapping up our PACE involvement.
The next part that we hit on the PACE examination is the E part for engagement. The major aspect we looked at here is customer loyalty. So when a customer walks into a Dick's Sporting Goods, it doesn't matter where they are, if they're in New York, if they're in Cleveland or California, it's always going to be the same consistent store feel. Now, within the store, we also looked at the rewards card system. So when you buy something, you get points. When you get points, you can use it towards promotions for the next season of gear. And how do you learn about the next season of gear? Through the Dick's Sporting Goods email system to their customers. A lot of their customers also get first class and first rate information about all the different seasons that come out, the different items, the different lines of clothing, and also different athlete endorsements that they get. To wrap up the PACE examination, we really feel that Dick's Sporting Goods did a great job of the P, A, C, and E parts of PACE. But we also looked at what they could have done better. The first thing we looked at is their culture of competence. Now, a couple statistics. 68% of the NFL is African Americans, 28% of the MLB are Latino. So what we found is that they're doing a great job on the racial issues because they don't really have any problems with that outside, because Dick's really represents sports as a whole and not just a retail store. But when we look at things like the women's national soccer team versus the men's national soccer team, where the women make 40% less than the men, but their team brings in $16 million more of revenue, we can really see that the world outside of just a retail sporting goods store isn't as fair. And we think that Dick's should do a lot more to kind of relate to the different gender equality issues that are going on in the workplace. John's going to talk a little bit about the trajectory of Dick's.
So yeah, Dix, like we said, has done a great job doing PA, C, and D from our examination, what we saw from it. And because of that, we think that they're going to continue to be growing. In 2005, they were pulling in a revenue of a little bit over $3 billion. And today, in 2015, at the end of 2015, they had made $7 billion. So they have very consistent growth over the last 10 years. We think they're going to continue to do that, especially if they involve themselves with gender equality and bringing a moral aspect to the retail good industry. So now CJ is also going to talk a little bit about their level of education.
To work at Dix, there's actually not a really high level of education needed, but there's a lot of internal teaching that goes on based on what's where, how you're supposed to stock shelves, and simple things like that. I recently interviewed someone who was recently hired at Dix, and they were telling me how they very much liked how well the managers communicated the information and how the education system within Dix helped them to understand and kind of begin to work in that environment. I think that as that level of education stands and as they go and as they grow, I don't think much is going to need to change in that. I just think that they need to continue to enforce the ideas of managers teaching people who are new hires efficiently and quickly to help them to grow faster. So with that, I think we're going to turn to Justin for the concluding statement.
To conclude our entire PACE analysis and what we think that could be better about Dix, we really feel that Dix has done a crystal clear job of hitting every single component that they need. Obviously, they could do a little bit more on a level of education. Their trajectory should keep on going up, and their cultural competence should definitely revolve towards gender equality. But we thank you, and we hope that this has given you a crystal clear idea of Dix and their entire mission statement.